Imagine reaching the absolute peak of your career, sold out stadiums, the biggest tour of your life, and deciding to walk away from all of it. That's exactly what just happened, and the psychology behind it explains a lot more than one celebrity's decision. In August 2026, a representative for Ariana Grande confirmed the singer is stepping back from public life after wrapping her Eternal Sunshine tour, citing, in their words, endless, ongoing public scrutiny. She's also stepping away from a stage role she was set to take on next year. This isn't a scandal, there's no controversy here. It's a decision made at the height of success, and that's what makes it worth understanding. She didn't frame this as burnout in the traditional sense. She framed it as needing distance from being watched constantly, everywhere, by everyone. And if you've ever felt exhausted just from being perceived, even in a much smaller way, this is going to feel familiar. This pattern isn't new. Over the past 2 decades, several major public figures at completely different points in their careers have made the same call, stepping back not because their career failed, but because it succeeded too completely. The common thread isn't fame itself, it's what fame removes: privacy, anonymity, and the ability to simply exist without being observed. Let's break down what's actually happening psychologically when someone is under constant public observation. First, the loss of private self. Psychologists describe this as the erosion of what's called the backstage, the space where you can be imperfect, unfinished, unwatched. For most people, that space is the majority of their life. For someone at Grande's level of fame, that space can shrink to almost nothing. Second, hypervigilance. When you know you might be photographed, recorded, or quoted at any moment, your brain doesn't get to switch off threat monitoring. Over months and years, this isn't just tiring, it's the same mechanism the brain uses to respond to sustained stress. Third, the parasocial paradox. Millions of people feel like they genuinely know her because they've watched her grow up publicly for over a decade. That connection is real on the audience's side, but it's one-directional. She doesn't get the same sense of knowing them back. That imbalance, multiplied by millions of people simultaneously, is not something human social psychology was built to handle. Fourth, no control over the narrative. Every public figure eventually loses the ability to fully control their own story. Other people's interpretations, headlines, and speculation exist whether they participate or not. Stepping back is in part an attempt to reclaim some of that control. You don't need to be a global pop star to recognize this. Think about the exhaustion of being on social media, curating, performing, aware that anyone could be watching or screenshotting. Now multiply that by a global audience, 24/7, with real consequences attached to every moment. That's not a difference in kind, it's a difference in scale. So when Ariana Grande says she needs distance, this is what she's actually describing. Not a rejection of her career, but a basic human need to exist without being watched, something most of us take completely for granted. This is the real cost of visibility that almost never gets talked about seriously. If you found this perspective interesting, I break down the psychology behind public figures and fictional characters both, so subscribe if you want more of this. And I'm curious, if you were in her position, at the peak of success, would you walk away? Let me know in the comments.